Hey guys, Jay here with Fishninja. So one of the new segments that I had mentioned that we are doing some new things on Facebook, is lure reviews. I am so excited to start doing this. This was kind of the first thought that I had when I started wanting to do videos on fishing, was reviewing the tackle and the lures that I use, pulling something out of my bag, out of my tackle bag, and sharing my thoughts about these things with you guys. And the first one I'm going to do is a bait that I've been using for 14 plus years, somewhere in there, and that is the Striking Red Eye Spinnerbait. For the better part of about 10 to 12 years, this was the only spinnerbait that I bought. Over the last couple of years, I've been spreading out my repertoire. No one lure is universal, but I always have these in my tackle bag. I love these things. So let's dig in a little bit deeper. Show you guys these things close up. They are amazing. Be back in a second. Hey guys, here I've got 3 examples of the Striking Red Eye Spinnerbaits. These are all 3/8 ounce size. That is the most common size that I use. I think they've got the 3/8. I think they have 3/16 and a 1/4 ounce. The 3/8 I like to use a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite sizes. Do have 3 examples of the colors, being the white, chartreuse, and then the chartreuse and white over here. I'm not going to get too in depth on the color of these lures whenever I do a lure review, just because, for example, I think there's only 4 colors in this line. Some lures, the number of colors is in dozens, maybe close to hundreds. I mean, I don't even know. It's insane. And in my opinion, honestly, color, as important as it is, can be a secondary factor to the lure's profile and action. So I will touch on not so much the color, I will touch on the quality of the paint jobs, any stickers, stuff like that comes on the lure, how well they hold up, but I'm not going to get in depth into the colors per se. But anybody that would ask, of these 3 colors, I probably use the chartreuse and white the most. I mean, I definitely have confidence in colors, it's just I can't go into that much detail on most of these lure reviews. So let's take a closer look at some of these. Here's 3/8 ounce Striking Red Eye Shad. You see it's got the willow leaf and Colorado tandem blades. All of them have these. It works really good. Now that is beautiful, and this is a sticker too, and I think of all these ones I've ever had, I've only had one sticker really fade and maybe start to come off, and that's just because I got left in a very bad climate. The eyes here are also stickers, and I've had a couple of these come off, but for the most part it really doesn't hinder the bait at all. And of the probably hundreds of these that I've had, only a couple of those eyes have ever come off, so it's pretty good. Now the wire is a very important part of the spinnerbait, and that's what we got right here. This one, it's definitely got some bend to it. I mean, you can move it around. Now a really thick wire is going to be sturdy, but it's not going to have very much vibration. A very thin wire is going to put off a lot of vibration with the blades when they spin, but it's going to be brittle. This is kind of in between. I mean, I've definitely had these things get bent out of shape like crazy. I've had these things almost end up straight on some big northern. I had a good sized smallmouth do that, and a couple bigger largemouths. But if that does happen, it is very easy to put them back straight. I mean, you just take your fingers and tune it to make sure that everything's in line, and away you go. The skirts on these are really nice. They got some good flair and good action to them. Now this might be for another video, but I do often replace these skirts with the Striking Perfect skirt, but that's not the purpose of this video. This is, if you go out buy these things off the shelf, how is it going to work? And they work great. I only started replacing the skirts about 1.5 or 2 years ago, and I always still keep these skirts because I love them. I mean, they work really, really well. I just like the little tendrils on the Perfect skirts. But these, if you were to buy these off the shelves, they work great. They truly, truly do. Got a nice little minnow fish head. Got some scales kind of sculpted in there. I don't know if sculpting is the proper term, but I'm pulling that from my action figure collection terminology, and I'm sure they have to sculpt these to mold them. So, paint job, it's simple. I mean, it gets the job done. It is pretty durable. If you look on this one, you can see she's been banged to some rocks, Yeah, those are from rock. Wood doesn't usually beat them up this bad, but I've never had it really affect the lure at all. But you know, I put these things through rocks and wood and grass and everything else. The hooks are strong. I've always gotten really good hook sets with these lures. Haven't lost too many fish on with them, especially with the proper rod. The swivels, you know, these blades work good. You know, they swivel well. They do their job. I've only really had them really get fouled up on the really slimy, gross, mossy stuff, which has fouled up practically everything I pulled through it. But so yeah, I mean, these things, they're great. Also, if I usually buy mine from my local Walmart. Less than $4. Well, it depends. They run anywhere, depending on the time of year, from like $3.96 to like $4.19 per bait, which is great. I can't always spend $7 to $8 on a spinnerbait. In fact, that's why I started buying these, and I just fell in love with them. I just think that they're a very good, affordable blend of some of the things that you really look for in a solid spinnerbait. So, you don't always have to take my word for it. Cue the photo montage. Alrighty guys, that concludes the Fishninja review on the Strike King Red Eye Spinnerbait. Again, I love these things. If you have not fished them, give them a try. I promise you will not be disappointed. These things work amazingly well. If you like this video, like the video. Subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook. If you have used these things, leave a comment. Let us know what you think of them. If there's any lures you'd like us to review or take a look at, leave a comment. You know, we're be more than happy to seek out new things. So until next time, guys, thank you all very much for the support that you have given us, and take care.